What it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Mookie here, back with you with another new part of What If Izuku Can Summon Heroic Spirits. This is part 16. And the last part, the final event of the UA Sports Festival is on the way with the first rounds of the one-on-one battles, with Izuku wanting to help Shinso show off what he can do and his determination to become a hero by giving the guy at least somewhat of a fighting chance, which shows that Izuku understands the pain that Shinso is going through, as all the other matches were just like that of canon, no big deviation, except with Endeavor wanting Izuku to get Shoto to use his flames. However, with Kotaro there, all he saw was just a mirror of his own father, Kotaro the Fourth, with Izuku stepping in between that of him and his assassin class servant. With now, both Izuku and Kotaro face against Shoto. And with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? As the crowd becomes quite excited for the next match, with then everyone else in that of Class 1A begins to highly wait for the match that everyone seems to be waiting for, with then Ochako finally getting up from that of the infirmary, with then soon saying, it looks like I made it just in time, as she has that of an excited look on her face, with then Ida saying, Uraka, over here, as she sees her tall, glasses-wearing, friend and classmate, with Jiro soon actually saying, looks like you did make it in time. I hope you weren't too bad. With then Ochako saying, I'm alright. Nothing too major. With then Jiro saying, sure? I mean, Bakugo was quite of a jerk, to be honest. But I can understand what Mr. Aizawa was trying to say by defending his actions. With then soon Bakugo saying, I could hear you, weird ears. With then Jiro saying, okay, so what? With then hearing that, Bakugo couldn't help but get annoyed hearing the girl basically not be afraid of him, which in fact she actually is, as long as she doesn't show it. Before anyone can say anything, President Mike soon speaks up on the intercom once again saying, all right, you all know what time it is, everyone. It's finally time for the first match of the second rounds. And this is a match that I know everyone has been waiting to see. In the first corner, we have that of Class 1A of the Hero Course's ace student. You see him dominate this entire event even more, and even show that of his sportsmanship with Shinso in his last match. Give it up for Izuku Midoriya! As Izuku enters the ring alongside Kotaro, as he's still in his casual clothes as well. And in the next corner, we have Class 1A's either second best student or the one with the most potential. The one whose quirk is basically overwhelming anybody that comes near him. He gave it up for the son of the number 2 hero and Class 1A and part of Class 1A's hero course. It's Shoto Todoroki! As the crowd begins to cheer even louder for that of Shoto, especially given his affiliation to his father. With then soon seeing this, a few of those in Class 1A couldn't help but be confused, seeing that Kotaro is walking right next to Izuku. With then soon Momo saying, that's strange. With then Jiro couldn't help but say, what is Momo? With her saying, it's Midoriya. It doesn't seem like he has already one of his sentient quirks out already. With then Sato speaking of saying, yeah, now that you mention it, it seems like he's walking alongside Midoriya. With then Sero couldn't help but speak up, makes sense. The guy probably doesn't want to be blindsided like what happened with me. With then soon Kaminari saying, I think the only reason you lost is because there was no way in hell you were going to beat somebody like Todoroki. With then soon, Zero hearing this from Kaminari, with then saying, okay, then what about you, Mr. I overshorted my brain and didn't expect a girl to use that of a plant quirk? With then hearing that, Kaminari saying, oh, low blow, dude. With then Jiro couldn't help but say, it was pretty obvious. Don't you think electricity doesn't, work on plants, Within hearing that, soon Kaminari couldn't help but feel depressed. With then, Momo couldn't help but be more curious. With then looking at Kotaro, with then saying, if I recall, Midoriya calls him Fuma Evil Wind Kotaro, just like that of the one who bears the name of Fuma Kotaro V, which he was mainly known as the Evil Wind, due to his tactics as that of a shinobi, constantly playing dirty and to the point that he burns his enemies alive. If Midoriya really does say that his sentient quirks basically mimic those of ancient legends and history figures as well, the weakness of Fuma Kotaro is that he's quite narrow-minded in his goals, especially since he was raised to be nothing but a tool and a weapon, after all. With then, soon Momo continues going over her knowledge of the one known as the Evil Wind of the Sengoku Warring States period. With now in the ring, soon Izuku and Kotaro stand side by side. It also helps that both of them are also the same height as well, with Todoroki standing on the other side. With then soon Izuku saying, you know the plan, right, Kotaro? With then Kotaro saying, yes, I understand, master. With soon Izuku saying, but that also means I know I can't let my emotions get the better of me, even though just looking at him. As Kotaro looks at Shoto, he doesn't see the dual-haired colored and heterochromatic classmate of Izuku Midoriya, his master. Instead, he sees a less twisted version copy of himself, one that's more naive than anything. With then soon Kotaro switching his attire to his default shinobi gear, with then soon under his banes that shadow his eyes, as the left side of his face, his amber eye gleams with that of resolve. With then Izuku preparing his magic circuits, preparing his projection magic, and also reinforcement magic at the same time. With then soon Shoto seeing this as the ice on the right side of his body begins to be prepared. Within soon, President Mike screams out, begin! As to start it off, Shoto soon sends a burst of ice right towards Izuku and Kotaro. With then, without warning, both Izuku and Kotaro soon separate from one another, as Izuku goes to his left, taking Shoto's right, and Kotaro goes to the right, taking Shoto's left. With then seeing this, Shoto tries to split his ice. However, when doing so, it basically can only go to one direction, as he decides to try and hit Izuku first before taking out that of Kotaro. With then as soon sending the ice towards Izuku, as then Izuku couldn't help but smirk when his projection finally completes, and then slices right through the ice then hearing that to the crackle of lightning piercing right through it. Within, Shoto couldn't help but be completely confused. With soon Kotaro already on him, within him kicking him away, as not already aware that he's not even going to use his flames on him. With then soon rolling in the arena, he soon stops himself by using the ice to stop his memento. With then Shoto couldn't help but glare at Kotaro, and then glare at Izuku as well, because in his hands hold that of 3 sword-like weapons. These are black keys. With everybody in the crowd completely and utterly shocked at seeing these weapons, With then even present Mike come up and say, "My word, I didn't expect Midoriya to be proficient with so many other weapons and abilities. Give it up to this wild card, don't you all say?" With then Aizawa couldn't help but think, "Midoriya, your quirk, it's way too versatile, way too different. If it wasn't for my own quirk being able to disperse your own sentient quirks, I would be a lot more worried. But now knowing that you have so much proficiency with so many other weapons, it's starting to become at least a little bit worrying. I need to know, who is your teacher by any chance? Who's teaching somebody like of his age to use weapons like that?" In the entrance hole on where Izuku is at, 4 of Izuku's servants wanted to check out the match, as it being that of Sigurd, Odysseus, Skyhatch, and Nobunaga. With then Skyhatch can up and say he's improved quite a bit with black keys. I take it that this is your doing, isn't it right, Sigurd? With then the glasses-wearing saber-class servant couldn't help but smirk at least a little bit, but saying, "Well, I did have a little bit of help." Kotaro also helped him out using those infernal weapons as well. Even though pieces of Graham I can turn into that of daggers, I'm not that proficient with them. But with the help of Kotaro, Izuku was able to turn such a complicated and annoying weapon such as black keys into something useful as well. Using those infernal weapons of the church alongside Kotaro, both Izuku and Kotaro make a perfect duo. With then soon, Skyhatch couldn't help but smirk, saying, I do agree with that, Sigurd." Within, Nobunaga couldn't help but scream out, "Yeah, go Izuku! You too, Kotaro! Show what you guys are made of!" With then Odysseus saying, "But we all know that the both of them are holding back, isn't it right?" With then soon Sigurd adjusting his glasses again, saying, "Yeah, they are. They're trying to get Todoroki to use his flames. Because he continues to hold himself back like that, it's just going to cause more problems than solve anything." With then Skyhatch also crossing her arms against her quite ample bust, within saying, "That I can agree on." As the fight continues to go on, with Shoto dodging quite a bit of attacks from the black keys that Izuku is creating using projection, with even using his ice to defend himself, however, giving that of Kotaro an opening he needs to attack, as he deals multiple punches, kicks, and takedowns on that of the dual quirk user, with then dealing one powerful kick to his gut before grabbing him by the neck and slamming him to the ground, pinning him as well, with making the crowd go crazy as well. With then Kotaro saying, "So, still want to continue holding yourself back? It's quite pathetic, if anything." With then soon Shoto saying, "Shut up! What is this? Are you not trying to beat me, Midoriya? Did my bastard of a father get you involved in this?" With then soon Kotaro getting annoyed at this, as through his eyes you could see that of pure and utter rage just bringing up Endeavor, as he soon pulls out his kunai. Within soon he brings the kunai down to Shoto's neck, with as it's nicking the skin, but not piercing it just yet. Within saying, "Answer me, Shoto Todoroki. Who are you fighting? Are you fighting your father, or are you fighting my master? Answer me. Who is it that you are currently fighting, boy? Or do you need a reminder?" With then hearing that, Shoto couldn't help but say, "Master, isn't this Midoriya talking?" As he internally thinking, Quirk study says that people with sentient quirks are basically the internal and true thoughts of a person who's suppressing their true words, and using their sentient quirks, they're basically expressing how they truly feel or how they truly think. And yet, it almost sounds like he's acting completely different from Izuku. With then soon Izuku on the side, still having his black keys in his hands, feeling quite nervous as he sees the kunai in Kotaro's hands, right next to Shoto's throat, within thinking, come on, Kotaro, don't do this. You are not the evil Win right now. Don't go evil Win on me right now, please. Seeing the opportunity, Shoto tries to use his ice to get Kotaro off of him, as he actually does do this, with Kotaro jumping off while flipping in the same time, as he narrows his eyes at the dual quirk user once again. Within, Shoto basically couldn't help but look at Izuku, within Izuku being on guard, as Shoto saying, you know, I was expecting you to give it your all, but seeing that you're trying to I can tell that you're trying to get me to use my flames. It's really starting to piss me off, Midoriya. With then soon, Izuku saying, you holding back is what's pissing me off. With soon, Shoto couldn't help but raise an eyebrow at that. With then Izuku saying, you still don't get it. With then basically pointing at basically raising his arms up, saying, everybody here at the sports festival is giving their all. They're trying to show what they're all made of, what they're all capable of, wanting to become a hero more than anything. So, but you, on the other hand, you've basically been using almost half of your power this entire time, while everybody else, such as myself, are trying our best to give it our all as well. And if you think you can beat me by going half-ass, or even take down Kotaro, then you have another thing coming, Todoroki. So if you want to beat me, stop holding back and give me everything you got! As he clenches the black keys and brings them to his face, as lightning begins to crackle all around them. With then soon, Shoto hearing this, saying, your very words piss me off. You think I'm not giving it my all? Fine then, I'll show you I'm holding back. With then soon, as Shoto's ice begins to crackle all around him, before then bringing down both his right foot and his right hand down to the ground, creating that of a huge burst of ice heading straight for Izuku, as the blast is moving quite fast. However, for Izuku, he dodges out of the way, even though it being a pretty close one. With then soon, President Mike screams out, Midoriya dodged it! That is crazy! With then Shoto seeing this, as then he soon sends that of a more smaller but more faster attack towards Izuku, about to stop him on where he was about to land. Without warning, soon a kunai was sent to impede the attack, as then it begins to explode. With then soon seeing this, Shoto couldn't help but be shocked and surprised, before then getting hit once again by Kotaro, saying, did you forget that you're not just facing against my master, but also me as well? With then soon grabbing him by his left hand, with then slamming him to the ground once more, before then slamming him again and again and again, before tossing him around the ring, with then rolling, as then stop rolling on the edge of the arena, but he didn't even use his ice this time, due to him still reeling from the pain of being tossed around like that of a rag doll. With then soon Shoto narrowing his eyes at Kotaro, as then he soon sends another burst of ice towards that of Kotaro this time, but this time they were basically sharp spikes. With then soon Kotaro instead of bringing out kunais this time, he soon pulls out his Kasarigama, his chain sickle, within soon spinning it as a fast motion. With soon he brings out the chain that destroys the ice coming straight at him, which basically turns it into that of small ice cubes in a way. With then soon seeing this, Shoto couldn't help but be shocked and surprised, before then using the ice to basically send him to get him away from the edge of the arena. Within soon seeing the perfect opportunity to strike Izuku, with now sending another barrage of ice once more. However, doing this is also causing his entire right side to freeze over. With then soon seeing this, Izuku realized that the ice is starting to become a lot more slower. And then soon seeing that the frost is covering his body, as then saying, looks like Sheba was right on the money. Same thing also goes for my own analysis as well. The more he uses his ice, the weaker he gets, and the slower his attacks become as well. With then soon Sheba actually popping up out of spirit form, but then saying, it looks like we're right on cue. With then soon Nobunaga saying, what are you talking about, you go-digging fox? With then Sheba actually couldn't help but smirk, with then saying, it's only natural, my fellow but stupid and narrow-minded servant. With then soon Nobunaga saying, you couldn't help but actually add the stupid part, could you? With then Sheba saying, many people in this day and age forget that quirks are not this almighty ability and power that people see them as, especially on heroes. Quirks have limits. If anything, they're more like muscles that humans have to use and work at. Push that muscle too much, you begin to lose energy out of it. With then Odysseus saying, I can understand what you're coming from. The more that Todoroki continues to overwork his ice quirk, the more harder it is for him to use it properly. Not only with then soon Sigurd also commenting saying, and with the ice basically covering the entirety of the right side of his body, he can't move properly as well. If anything, he's suffering from that internal frostbite. If he keeps this up, Izuku and Kotaro don't even need to do anything to win, or even have to use their trump card to do so. With then Skyhead saying, true, but that's only if he stops holding back and uses his flames. Using his flames, he'll be able to regulate his temperatures and be able to fight back at full strength. But right now, he's doing neither. If anything, he's holding himself back on purpose, and doing so is causing him to lose this match, even though both Izuku and Kotaro haven't got serious just yet. Seeing that the ice has gone slower, Izuku soon switches from his black keys to his replica of Gay Bolg, with then soon spinning it around and then using his magic circuits to channel his wind magic through that of the red spear. With all of his might, soon sends that of a swing down onto the ice, destroying it without even breaking a sweat. With then soon seeing this, Shoto gets knocked back once more, but this time he actually does use the ice to stop him from going backwards even more, which also causes his entire right side to get frozen over even more as well. Within soon, you can also see seeing that of cold air coming out of his mouth as he tries to catch his breath. With then soon Kotaro walking over to Izuku, not even looking quite impressed, as he has that of a neutral look on his face. Within soon Izuku placing the red spear on his shoulders, but then saying, it looks like our plan still hasn't worked yet. With then soon Kotaro saying, so what else is there? With then Izuku saying, we need to figure something out. The more that Todoroki continues to hold himself back, the day that he becomes a pro is the day that he continues to put innocent people in danger. With then Kotaro couldn't help but clench his fingers saying, ignorant fool. So pathetic. He says he's doing this for his mother, but is this what his mother would want? Let's also bring in the fact that it's his mother's fault for also scarring him as well. His father may be a bastard that tries to push his dreams and ideals on him, but it was his mother that basically scarred him for life. His mother that scarred him from ever using his flames, not the other way around. And yet, he puts all of the blame on both his parents, on only one of them, instead of the other way around. As soon Izuku saying, Kotaro, with then the demon wind finally snaps, saying, "Enough of this shit." With then soon hearing that, Izuku saying, "Wait, Kotaro!" As in a burst of wind, soon Kotaro was already on Shoto, with then soon him slamming his fist right into Shoto's gut. However, not stopping there, as another Kotaro basically appears right in front of Shoto, as he soon basically knees him in the back, as then both Kotaros begin to senselessly beat the living ever shit out of Shoto with multiple punches and kicks, dealing powerful blows to not just his body but also to his joints as well. With then everybody seeing this, with then President Mike couldn't help but scream out, "Oh, the insanity! Oh, the humanity! Midoriya has sent his sentient Quirk to basically brutalize Todoroki. How could somebody who basically wanted to show his sportsmanship in the last round now do something so twisted and wrong?" With then soon Vlad King speaking up saying, "So despicable. Even that Bakugo boy basically held back at least a little bit. He was rough, but not to this degree. This is savagery at its finest." As Ken looks at Aizawa, within the blood quirk teacher couldn't help but be shocked as looking at Aizawa, he was basically see that Aizawa was utterly shocked because right now he's not looking at Shoto being brutalized by Kotaro and his clone, but also Izuku, as he's basically looking like he's terrified and shocked. With then soon saying, "Did Midoriya just lose control of his quirk? He didn't plan this. It's going berserk on its own." With then soon, with then Izuku soon running towards Shoto, as people believe that it's Izuku who's going to finish off Shoto once and for all and win this match. But instead, he swings down trying to hit Kotaro instead. With then, one of the clone disappears, and the real Kotaro soon steps back once more as Izuku tries to pierce his assassin class servant. With then soon Kotaro couldn't help but say, "Master, what are you?" As Izuku points his copy of Gay Bogue towards Kotaro, saying, "I told you to get a wraps of it. What the hell you think you're doing?" With then soon Kotaro couldn't help but narrow his eyes under his bangs, with then saying, "Just looking at him pisses me off. Just looking how he acts, how he's treating his past like he's the only one that has suffered, that he's the only one who's basically been through pain and misery, when we know in fact he has not known true pain and misery before." As Kotaro's amber eyes basically gleam with that of pure rage and anger, as all of the memories of his past, from that of a boy being used by his father as that of a tool, as a weapon, to exceed the name of as the fifth Fuma Kotaro, as being basically brutalized, beaten over and over for the merest mistakes, and to beat out his own humanity as well, until seeing his mother, his adopted mother, who's basically done nothing but care for him, love for him, supported him, even has taken beatings for him as well, and yet she was never his biological mother. She was just nothing but a homunculus who's done so much for him, and yet she was the closest thing to more human than the very person that he saw as a father. And right now, in front of him, is basically an ignorant, self-entitled child that believes that he suffered the same pain as him. The same pain of losing a mother, tossed away as nothing but the tool that people believe she was. But in fact, that's far from the truth. As he can just already tell that instead of knowing that pain, he is suppressing it. He's suppressing the truth and blaming all of his hatred and suffering onto one man who doesn't deserve all the hate, but should also share that hate as well. With then soon Izuku saying, "Kotaro, I know how you feel, but this isn't the way to." With then without warning, he can already hear the ice basically trying to creep up onto Izuku. With then, soon, Izuku knocking away the ice with just one burst of his wind magic craft once more. With then, knocking back Shoto to his knees. With then, using the ice to keep himself stable. With then, soon, Shoto saying, "The hell do you think you're doing?" With as Shoto is having a hard time trying to breathe, not just from the ice, but also from being beaten and senselessly, with even a bit of blood coming out of his mouth. Given that a few of his organs must have taken quite a bit of a beating as well, given the body shots that Kotaro was doing with his clone. Within Izuku saying, "What am I doing? What are you doing? You could have ended that onslaught, but you didn't. If you heated yourself up with your fire, you could have basically dodged all of that, or even defended yourself if you could have defended yourself as well. But instead, you were so determined on your damn grudge over your father that you're willing to hold yourself back? What if you do this as a hero?" With then, soon, Shoto couldn't help but grit his teeth in that of annoyance and anger, with then saying, "Shut up. You don't know. You're going to become a hero. What if you go out there in the public and basically you continue being like this? You only use your ice, and yet you face against a villain that you can stop with your fire. What happens then? You let that villain go. That villain continues to hurt innocent people and cause more and more suffering. And then the civilians that had to come to you. What are you going to tell them? That their loved ones got hurt, or worse, because you decided to hold yourself back? Is that the kind of hero that you want to be? The kind of hero that you want to be remembered as? A half-assed hero that does nothing, but basically lower himself to something weaker? Because everybody else at this damn sports festival wants to give it their all, to prove that they can stand up with the greatest heroes. If you can't accept that, maybe you don't deserve to be a hero. With then, soon after saying that, everybody was shocked. Midnight was shocked. Cementos was shocked. However, the ones who were shocked the most was Izuku's servants. With then, Kotaro couldn't help but say, "Izuku, did you just say?" With then, soon, Sigurd saying, "Izuku just said the thing that I never thought he would ever say to somebody." With then, Scott Hatch couldn't help but say that to tell somebody to stop even trying to become a hero. Within Nobunaga, as she goes further and further into the ring, but not leaving the tunnel way, but then saying, "Izuku, you don't mean that. You would never say that. You would never tell anyone to stop trying to pursue to become a hero. That's not like you." With then, soon, Izuku realized what he just said, saying, I didn't mean." With then, soon, Shoto couldn't help but grit his teeth, saying, "Then what kind of hero should I be? What kind of hero can I be with a bastard like his? I refuse to use that bastard's quirk without any recognition. So what?" With then, soon, both Izuku and Kotaro at the same time couldn't help but scream in that of frustration, anger, annoyance. With then scream out, "It's your quirk! Your quirk, not his! What don't you get about that? Quirks are genetic, yes, but once it's passed down, it's yours! It's always going to be yours! It's not his anymore!" With then, both of them stopped. However, Kotaro didn't stop, with saying, "Just like your ice quirk isn't your mother's anymore!" With then, Izuku looking back at his assassin class servant. With soon, Kotaro screaming out, "Your ice is your own ice, not your mother's! Stop seeing your ice, your own damn quirk, as your mother's! Stop seeing your abilities, your quirks, your strength as theirs, because it's all yours! Yours, not theirs! You are not the byproduct of your family! You are your own damn person! So start acting like it, Shoto Todoroki!" Within hearing all of this, from not just Izuku, but also from Kotaro as well. Within, soon, memories of his mother begin to flash over and over again about the kind of hero he wants to be, not like his father, about how he wants to use his quirk to help others, not for his father's dream, and how he wants to become a better hero, a hero like All Might. Within, after hearing all of this and the influx of memories began to flash, the flames on his left side began to burst. Within, soon, everything, the flames began to engulf the entirety of the arena, with everybody feeling this. Within, Uraraka in the stands cannot but say, he's using his fire! Within, Jiro saying, yeah, definitely, he's really turning up the heat here. With soon, Ida saying, but he said he would never. With remembering what Shoto said during the cavalry battle. As then, soon, Shoto in the ring could help but say, I shouldn't stop being a hero? What gives you the right to say that, Midoriya? Because I will. With then, the flames begin to settle down as they begin to engulf the left side of his body, saying, I will be a hero! After saying that, both Izuku and Kotaro couldn't help but smile in joy of what is happening right now. With then soon, Endeavor couldn't help but scream, yes, Shoto! As then he begins to rant off about what his purpose is, the reason on why he was born, as some people saw this as Endeavor showing his support as a father in terms of endearment as a way, but let's face it, we all know the true reason behind his words. With then, Shoto couldn't help but have a tear run down on the right side of his face. With then, soon, Izuku couldn't help but smile. Within, Kotaro right next to Izuku saying, you know, there's a highly chance that since he hasn't used his flame in such a long time, besides in that of a, well, small, in a way to keep himself cool and heated at the same time, there's a chance he'll destroy this entire arena, along with us as well. I may be able to withstand it, but you, on the other hand, Izuku, within Izuku looking at his assassin class servant that he sees as that of an older brother figure, within him saying, yeah, I'm aware. Within Kotaro saying, if you do this, you'll only have that of 5 minutes to use it before you're close to having your mana depleted. Within saying, I know, but I will do it. If he's going all out, I should do the same. With, after saying that, both Kotaro, through his veins, his eyes say that of ready. Within, soon, Shoto saying, the two of you have been trying to help out your opponent all this time, multiple times as well, where you could have beaten me pretty easily. Who's half-assing things now, Midoriya? Within, soon, Izuku and Kotaro couldn't help but have that of a frown on their face. Within, soon, Shoto saying, don't blame me, what happens next? Within, soon, Izuku couldn't help but have that of a smirk on his face, saying, oh, trust me, I won't. And I had to tell you the same thing as well, if you're going all out. Within, soon, Kotaro finishing off Izuku's sentence saying, so shall we, as Izuku's magic circuits and began to go crazy across his body. Within his assassin class command seal begins to glow as well. Within, Kotaro getting right in front of Izuku. Within, Izuku placing both his hands on Kotaro. As before, however, before Izuku did, Kotaro enters his true form, his true abilities and form, as a white coat soon enwraps around his body, and his golden eyes begin to become more clear through his veins. However, before anyone could see this, a bright golden light begins to engulf Izuku and Kotaro, as everybody covers their eyes except Izuku's servants, as many of them couldn't help but smile in that of joy. With then soon the President Mike saying, "What's going on?" With then Aizawa saying, "That light, it's just like," within remembering the USJ. With soon in the arena, the light dies down as then Kotaro is no more there. However, Izuku has changed, as right now he's no longer in his UA gym uniform, with now him having that of a gray shinobi garb, with that of a white sleeveless coat covering his body as well. And his hair is no longer that dark emerald green, but is now that of a crimson red, with his eyes no longer green as well, as they have the same color as Kotaro, the golden burning amber. With then everybody is shocked and surprised seeing the form that Izuku has taken, as he uses his fusion magic craft to become a pseudo servant. With then soon Izuku can up and say, "Come now, Todoroki. Show me what you are truly made of. Do not hold anything back, as I will not no more." With then soon, as multiple clones of Izuku begin to appear, as there are now 5 Izuku counting the original. With then Shoto couldn't help but smirk as well, as he soon sends that of a giant ice wave towards Izuku. With then Izuku and the clones soon disappear, with the main Izuku soon basically jumping up into the air, with that of kunais in his hands, sliding right down that of the ice. Within, however, making sure to burn away the ice, Shoto, he prepares his flames, within aiming it towards that of the main Izuku running towards him. Within, he internally thinking, "You did all of this to help me, Midoriya, to overcome my pain and misery. For that, thank you." With then blasting the flames towards Izuku, as Izuku still has the smile on his face, heading with, however, both Midnight and Cementos tries to stop this match from beginning to continue on. With then the black, however, before they could do anything, the flames already hit Izuku, as he was already quite close, with then getting engulfed by the flames. Within, everybody is shocked and surprised seeing this, as some were kind of horrified. However, instead of seeing a charcoal body, it soon engulfs in that of smoke. Within, Shoto seeing this, as he couldn't help but say, "But how?" With then soon, however, when he finally clears the area that he's in, he soon sees that multiple Izukus are basically circling around him, even the main Izuku as well. Within, Izuku saying, "Ha, you really think I would just go at you with a full-on assault? Nah, I am the assassin class. Stealth and technique is my style." Confused on what's going on, before then, flames begin to erupt around below Shoto, with then trying to use his ice to extinguish them. However, each ice that he does basically evaporates into steam. Within, Shoto's eyes basically having that of widened, shocked, and fear, while the main Izuku begins to chant, "Now, allow me to show you. Allow me to welcome you onto a tour straight to hell. Go, Immortal Chaos Brigade!" After doing so, flames begin to erupt around Shoto. Within, Shoto begins to scream in that of agony, as he's now engulfed in a giant tornado made out of flames. With then soon, everybody is utterly shocked, scared, and terrified on what just happened. With then soon, the flames begin to go down as each and every one of the Izuku clones disappear. Within, Izuku and Kotaro soon separates from one another as she's no longer a pseudo servant. Within seeing this, Izuku couldn't help but smile before going down to his knees, trying to catch his breath. But then soon, Kotaro saying, Izuku! Hey, Izuku, stay with me. Within feeling his magic circuits saying, they're quite depleted, but you still got plenty of prana points. That's good. Within, Izuku could help but say, did we win? But soon the flames began to die down, but instead of seeing a charred corpse that people believed that they would see, instead, we basically see Shoto as his UA uniform is completely and utterly burnt, with only a bit of slight first degree burns instead. However, even so, the pain was too much for Todoroki, as then he soon collapsed to the ground. Within, Kotaro saying, yeah, we won. Within, Midnight trying to catch her bearings on what she just saw. Within, soon saying, Todoroki is unable to continue from knockout. The winner of the first match of the second round is Midoriya! Within, soon, the crowd began to go wild for Izuku winning. Within, Izuku hearing all of this while still trying to catch his breath. Within saying, we did it. We actually did it. Within, soon, Kotaro grabbing Izuku's arm and putting it around him. As then saying, can you walk? Saying, yeah, I can still walk. Just can't stand properly. Just needs a little bit of rest and I should be able to be fine. Saying, of course. With then walking out of the arena saying, Kotaro? With then saying, yeah, did I mess up? With then saying about the part when you said to him to stop trying to become a hero. With then saying, personally, no. However, this is you, on the other hand. You would never say something like that unless somebody truly got you angry and pissed about their actions, especially if they're trying to become a hero. I would expect you to say that to Bakugo, but you never did. So if you think that Todoroki deserves those words, I will say I will be shocked and somewhat anxious, but I do believe you meant them in that of not of a negative way, but in a way of not wanting to see innocent people and even himself get hurt. With then Izuku hearing this saying, are you just trying to say that to make me feel good? With then soon Kotaro saying, I am your servant after all, and brother figure, right? Would you call me out for that? But then Izuku saying, probably not. With then after saying that, Izuku couldn't help but look back as Shoto being carried away to Recovery Girl's infirmary, realizing that Nightingale is still there. He's definitely in good hands after all, as Izuku may have helped a person become a better hero than what they were destined to be. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. So, how did you guys like this battle? Originally, I was going to have Nobunaga face against Izuku and Shoto, which would have been just as badass. It would have seen on whose long-range techniques are a lot more better. But I believe that Kotaro would have made things a lot more personal given his past with his family after all, and it's quite fitting and with Shoto's is too. So yeah, I think I did a better job with Kotaro instead of with Nobunaga. Maybe another time though. So with all that said, if you guys like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification to keep up to date with my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, check out my Discord, my gaming channel, my side channel, my Patreon, and Cash App as well. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later, guys, and I hope you all take care. You know what to do, my beloved Shiro.
Hi everyone, this is White Fox. If you liked Leon's video, click the video on the left to see the most recent one. And if you want to see more of this, click the subscribe button and notification bell and check out his playlists. If you still haven't subscribed, do so in the center. With that said, I hope to see you again on my love's channel. Bye!